All right, we're live. Hi, we did it. We're here.
How's your week been, Paul?
It has been a week. My Twitter got fucking locked down for suspicious activity. So,
What does that
uh,
mean?
yeah, exactly. They didn't tell me exactly what the suspicious activity was, but what it meant for me was having to send an email to support and hoping that they got it and waited around without any contact with them at all for a few
Did they
days.
like cite the tweet or the series of tweets or anything?
No, they're just like, sorry, you were wrongfully targeted by our system or whatever. It's so dumb. I don't
That's
understand what
so weird.
happened. Yeah,
Do you have any idea? Like, did you look back at some of the most recent tweets?
yeah. The most recent tweets where I was saying that my friend was streaming some Magic the Gathering, and then the one after that, that was the most recent, was asking another friend, "Hey, you down for some Project Resistance this weekend for the beta?" That's it. That's those.
Okay.
And then there was this weird conspiracy theory that is like maybe you're talking about Project Resistance too much, and they think you're like uprising or something. It's like, yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Like, I
Yeah,
guess.
I don't know, man. That's weird.
Yeah. So I'm back up now as of like 1 in the morning or something weird. And yeah, I used an old account to create the hashtag free exposure because obviously the only way to get your voice heard these days is to create a hashtag. And a few people
Okay.
were tweeting Twitter support to free me. Um, yeah, that's been my week. Basically, I've
Right
been
on.
jailed and then I got out. What about you?
Right on. Right on. What have I been up to? Nothing major I can think of.
Yeah, playing some video
Girl,
games this week.
yeah, playing some video games. We don't have to get to that just yet. Yeah,
Well, what about
nothing. I can't
movies?
think of.
TV?
I didn't go to a movie last week, I don't believe. This week will be Joker.
Joker. Yeah.
Actually, here's something messed up. Um, all the like headlines I'm seeing about like theaters arming themselves and like boosting
Yeah.
security for this weekend.
Yeah.
I even got like a work email saying like, kind of heads up about this stuff. Here's some guidelines on how we're going to like cover breaking news in relation to this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it is it is a few things. First off, it's downright scary.
It is, sure. It's fear
And
mongering
second,
for sure.
well, I mean, just the idea that this could happen is downright scary.
Sure.
I'm glad I'm not going on opening night because like
Okay.
why like at
Hmm.
the point it's like I really don't think something will happen to me, obviously, because I'm gonna go see the movie.
Yeah.
But like, why even risk it?
Sure. Yep.
So I'm glad I'm not going opening night. I have plans to see it later in the weekend, and like we're specifically planning for like a matinee to avoid
Yeah.
like when the big crowds would be there.
Right.
This whole scenario is just gross that I even have to think about this. This is
It
a
is.
messed up country.
Yeah. It's gross. I'll probably
But
see it at some random time where there's not people around either, but that's not because I'm scared. It's because I don't like being around big crowds.
all right. Well, I don't like. Yeah, like it's weird that I even have to like be like worried about this
It's weird that this is a
or
thing to think about. Like,
yeah, like that I have
yeah.
to even consider this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just it's man
And then it makes like
weird.
this is a whole different podcast if we keep talking about this train of thought, so we probably shouldn't. But then it kind of puts in perspective like there's people in countries that they have to think that way going to like the mall. You know? Like
Yeah,
should
that's
I
that's true.
like
That sucks.
yeah,
No, that's true.
or just anywhere. Like yeah, it's fucked up.
No, you're right. Yeah, that's definitely true. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna see that movie this weekend. I'm really looking forward to it. Um,
Yeah. I
I've been
I'm cautiously optimistic about it, I'll say.
I've been like really looking forward to it since it was like first unveiled at like the Venice Film Festival or whatever it was, and it was
Uh
like at 100%. Like it was getting crazy good reviews. It's since then dropped to like 70 something.
Sure.
But I mean, that's still a really good score. I'm still excited to see it.
Sure. Yeah.
It'll also, I'm hoping it just kind of like washes the Jared Leto Joker away. We can stop thinking about that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I haven't thought about that guy for a while, but now that you're reminding me, yeah,
well, it
that'd
was
be
just the
good.
last one, right? Like it was the most recent one.
I forgot it existed, but yes,
Yeah.
you're right. It does
So
exist.
yeah,
Um,
I'm excited.
So here's the follow-up question. How many people do you think dress up as this Joker for Halloween because of the timing for all of this?
Probably a lot, right? Because
Yeah,
I
probably.
like the Heath Ledger one was like is like still a go-to one, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And for the
Yeah.
yeah, it definitely is. Like I still see that when I don't know so much about like when I'm going out, but I definitely still see like Twitter threads and stuff of like cool costumes. Like that is still a thing because it's an easy costume. You just have to have like a disheveled like white buttoned shirt and then
Sure.
like the face paint basically.
Yeah.
And you have to be bad at putting on face paint, which everyone is.
Yeah. By
So
default. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So like yeah, I bet that'll be a big one. I'm trying to think. What do you think are like are gonna be the go-to costumes this year?
Okay. Harley Quinn and Joker, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Harley
I mean,
Quinn
Harley
still.
Quinn counts for sure, like always. I'm trying to
Yeah.
think of like a more topical one.
Okay, topical.
How about and I only know this because I've seen it's been popular as a cosplay thing at conventions recently.
Okay.
Um, the sailor outfit from season 3 of Stranger Things.
Yep. Stranger Things in general, I think we'll get a few for sure. But you're right, the ice cream uniform or whatever for
Yeah,
sure.
the Chips Ahoy thing or whatever it is.
Yep.
Um, we got someone in the chat saying Naruto and Sasuke because Area 51. I don't think so. I don't think I'll see many personally.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see some because it's Halloween, but like, yeah, not like overblown. We're trying to think of the
There's also two
zeitgeist.
different things here because one is like, what am I going to see like on Twitter around people kind of my age, and then what am I actually going to see out on the street for kids? Those are going to be completely different things.
Sure.
But like so like talking about like the people kind of around our age, I'm trying. What do you think are some of like the more female ones? I've been trying to get my girlfriend to do because it came out or they came out since like after last Halloween, either Spider-Gwen from Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, I bet you have been.
Well, also, I just think that costume's awesome, right?
It's really good.
I think that's such a cool costume.
I think that's the new. I don't think for our age. I think that's the new little girl costume for like for the ones that want to be a superhero. Because
you think I'm gonna like when I go out on like Halloween night, I'm gonna see kids in that costume?
I think so. I think that
Okay.
one specifically.
The other one, that I was saying, I think it would be a good idea is Captain Marvel.
Last year for sure. I think actually last year was a big one. I don't know about this.
Well,
year,
no,
maybe.
it came out this spring.
Yeah, but kids dressed up as it last year too.
I guess the movie wasn't out.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. You're probably right. It'll probably be some like Avengers characters in general. Spider-Man's going to be a big one for the boys still because he kind of always is a little bit.
Do you think it's Miles Spider-Man, like the black suit?
No, I don't.
It's just default. Okay.
Yeah. Batman's always a big one I mean, I dressed up as fucking Batman growing up, like the old 80s
Sure.
Batman. Batman's just always one for boys.
Again, I'm trying to think like what are like avoiding like the staples because like again I know I'm going to see some Harley Quinns.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Which actually that could even be a more topical one because that trailer just came out and the movie's coming out in like February or whatever.
I forgot that they're like remaking.
Well, yeah, it's supposed to be like a follow up to Suicide Squad, which sucks. That movie's so bad.
That movie's real bad. Yeah. I think Stranger Things was a good one. That's a good call.
That's just again, and I can't take credit for that. I've just seen online people saying that there's a lot of that at conventions right now.
Sure.
And I think that hits like our age group pretty hard.
Yeah,
because it's like a fun thing to do for a show that's like geared kind of of like for everyone, if
Yep.
not more for the older crowd.
Yep. I agree with you.
Yeah. Guess we'll see.
Yeah, I can't really think of
I'm
anything
curious.
else.
Fortnite characters? There's no Fortnite characters, right? Well, I mean there are, but like not like you can't name a Fortnite character. Like there's the Fortnite guy.
Pinata?
Like
Unicorn?
the llama pinata.
Yeah, that's the guy I'll name. Also, John Wick is my
Okay.
favorite Fortnite character.
It's true. Batman's in Fortnite like right now.
Is he really? Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
there's a Batman thing going on. I
How
don't know how
about
it works, but
with all the remakes of like Disney movies? Do you think we're gonna get like a new Aladdin and Jasmine this year?
I could. Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, I feel like we always were getting some Jasmines. I feel like Disney princesses are just kind
Yeah,
of obvious.
you're
I
right.
can't think of often Aladdin being one. Um,
So, okay, here's a weird follow-up for you. If we get New Jasmine is essentially just a like female like Arabic or Indian lady. Is this cultural appropriation if a little girl wants to be the new Jasmine that isn't cartoony?
no,
Okay. Okay.
no. I think that's like trying to find something to get upset about for this little
I
kid's
mean,
costume.
people will find that to get upset about, but I'm asking you personally. I don't think it is either, for the record. But yeah.
Anyway, John's not here. He's busy looking after his wife, as you've
Right.
definitely seen on his Twitter. So
Right.
he
Yeah.
wanted to take time to not be busy, which I can't blame him.
I mean,
Like
I didn't see that on his Twitter
he,
because
yeah, that was on his Twitter. That was
I've
on his
been
Twitter.
logged out. You
Oh,
can't
that's
view
right.
people's profiles even, by the way, if you can't sign in.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's do the show. Let's excuse me. Let's talk about some video game stuff.
Okay.
This is the top-down perspective for October 3rd. I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
Um, and before we get into what we've been playing, I want to talk about what's going on with my computer, which you've been helping me out with a bit.
Yeah. Okay.
So you told me to buy this power supply. I
Yeah.
bought it. I have
Okay.
it.
Okay.
I unwrapped it. That thing is never going to fit in my computer case.
Yeah. This is what I was a little bit worried about because that's kind of the standard size too.
No, so this is what I've come down. There's two scenarios, and I'm gonna phone the. So last time when I upgraded the
Oh yeah, get a new case. This is the easiest.
Well, okay, again,
Yeah.
let me do my whole spiel. So
Okay.
last time when I
Yeah,
upgraded the graphics card, I went to a little like it literally almost kind of seems like a large closet with a door that leads to the road.
Right.
Just a little computer repair shop in town. And I paid them, they installed it, they made sure everything worked. I was happy with that.
Sure.
I'm going to do the same with this one.
Okay.
I'm going to say, okay, what's a better scenario here? Installing this, can this power supply even be installed? And I'll just have it like either sticking out or I'll wire it so it sits on top, kind of like an external hard drive would sit on top.
Sure. Yeah.
Is that possible? So that's solution A. Or B, can you take what's inside this box
Yeah.
and put it into a case that it should be in?
Yeah.
Or are there, because this is not a gaming computer. And what the long-term goal is to turn this computer, slowly upgrade it, Frankenstein it over the years until it's a gaming PC.
That's PC
But it did not
gaming,
start out
baby.
like that, so it did not start out like that. So there are types of things in here that I understand are not gonna fit properly. Like the old graphics card I have, like it was like not your typical. It looked completely different, and it was like bolted in and stuff.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if there's other pieces in here where they're like, no, you can't use this type of whatever in with gaming or with actual hardware. I don't even know the terminology here.
Sure.
So I'm gonna ask this person, like, what's the better solution? And if I can push everything into the new case, I'm gonna be like, here's my phone. I have the Amazon app. Which one should I get? Which one will this stuff all fit in?
Right.
Because ideally, I would like to just slowly upgrade piece by piece. not all at once.
So most people that have gaming PCs started this way, right? Like nobody.
But I feel like most people just bought a gaming PC.
No. I don't think so. I think people have I think a lot of times people are like, I'm gonna dip my toes in. Oh, it's kind of neat that I can run this. Oh, but if I get a little bit better thing, then I can like run this now, and now I can run this. I think you're going about it the way I think a lot of people, including myself, by the way, have gone about this.
Okay. Well, if this is the standard way, this way sucks. It absolutely blows.
It's one of these things that you have to kind of be into finding out information about how this stuff works and doing it yourself if you do this way. If like for somebody who just likes to buy a console and just have it work, you definitely should just buy a gaming PC. For sure.
Well, and that's the thing is like I part of me should have just bought a gaming PC, but it's like I have all my settings and everything on here. I don't want to like deal with like trying to move everything over, and also I don't need 2 towers. I don't have enough space for that. Like I don't need 2 computers. Like I don't need one to be in the closet all the time.
So I mean, just for your information, the type of case you're gonna want to look up is an ATX case. Just go on Amazon and find like one that's cheap.
ATX? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Alpha Tango
and what is
X-ray.
That? Why do you say that one?
That's a standard case that like everything basically fits into.
Okay. Like, so what if I like don't get that? Then what am I gonna run into?
You can get different kinds. Just make sure that like
why would they make other kinds of cases if the standards only fit in this one?
Honestly, generally there's ATX, there's micro, or is it macro or mini? There's a version of ATX that's smaller. There's a version of ATX that's bigger, called like extended, I think.
So like I go to Amazon, I search PC case.
I
do see ATX.
ATX is the big one. Yeah.
Then they say like mid tower. Is that something I need to know about?
No.
No? Okay. How many different neon lights do I need? Because these all have widely different rainbow colors.
I have 0.
So your computer sucks and it's slow and it's for babies.
My computer cannot be seen by the naked eye unless you need to plug something into it. So
okay,
yes.
What if I want like...
If you want something showy, you could do that for sure.
I want this thing to like blind you every time I get a headshot. I want it to...
You can do that. You legitimately can.
I want, as soon as I get the headshot, I want a fucking alarm bell to go off. I want to wake up the whole neighborhood.
You're joking, but there's ways to do that. You can set up the stupid Razer, Chroma, whatever the hell it's called, to like, if something happens in game, it'll like light up your whole fucking room if you want. You can do that.
I want this thing to start a fire. I want it to find the nearest flammable object and just light it on fire when I'm on fire in game.
I mean, if you just wanted it to light a fire, just keep that power supply you currently have in there for a while. You'll be fine.
Right, yeah. Hopefully that holds up. I guess we'll find out kind of this weekend what I end up going with.
Yeah.
ATX,
honestly, if you can move that other stuff into just a standard case, I think you'll be fine. Then you can upgrade.
See, that's already like above my head. Because all these things are like screwed in there and shit, and like the power supply that's currently in there, it's in like a cage. I don't even know what it looks like.
Yeah, you can unscrew it. You can unscrew everything in there.
I'd have to unscrew, I'd have to take so much of it apart just to see it.
Yep, you're right.
I don't want to do that, man.
Oh, that's the funnest part, when you have all the pieces ready to go and you put them all together.
No, using it's the funnest part.
It's like building a car. I should learn how to build cars, because I think I would like it. It's just like the more adult version of PC building, honestly.
I guess so, yeah. That's true. Okay, I'll update you on how it went next week, because I'm gonna try and do some of that stuff this weekend.
I'm excited.
But why don't you tell the folks at home what you've been playing?
Yeah, I'm done with Mario Kart Tour for the foreseeable future. I did all the races in it, and it's at the point now where so you know how you're supposed to get like 5 stars or whatever per track by accumulating a certain amount of points. The current tracks that unlocked, I think like you need for one of them 10,500 points to get the 5 stars, and it's like, well, the only way to do that is to get the driver that for this course will be able to get the frenzy. You got to get the frenzy, and you got to do a bunch of other shit. So it's become like literally pay to win at this point, which would be fine, but like it's not worth paying for. So like I guess I'm done now. They put a barrier on me, so there we go.
I played 4 courses, like that first scene, and then I uninstalled
it's more
the
of
game.
that forever.
Yep.
And like
I saw a sale chart. I forgot what Twitter account it was from.
Okay.
It's extremely like most downloaded Nintendo thing by
I
like
believe that.
Like it was insane. Like the graph was like Mario Kart Tour, like all the way at the top, and everything else was just like a little nub along the bottom.
Yeah, I believe that.
It was,
for sure.
I think it was like they were at like 90 million,
Mm-hmm.
I think, and the next closest one was at like under 20, I think it was.
Yeah. So yeah, that game is really pushing hard for me, wanting me to put money in to get the certain drivers I need, and I'm not going to. So we're done. Maybe when they update it so that you can play with people, multiplayer and friends and stuff, I might jump in with some friends. But other than that, we're through, I suppose. I finished off Gears of War 4, that campaign.
Okay.
So
that
Gears
ending,
5,
are you like, whoa, holy smokes?
That ending was pretty. Honestly, I thought more would happen. I thought more. Okay, whatever. I thought a bunch of the party members would die, and none of them did. So
well, it's the first one of a trilogy.
Yeah. So probably in 5, I'm assuming somebody will, because if we're gonna assume the trajectory from Gears 1, 2, and 3, it seems likely. But we'll see. Gears 5 is up next on the docket, so I'm excited to go through that. And
cool.
That being 3 players is going to be fun to have 2 friends to play with. Yep. So yeah.
Gears 5 is really buggy. I finished it this week. It's we were getting the weirdest bugs. And it was mostly my co-op buddy that kept getting them. He got stuck in the menus. He couldn't like get out of like the pause menu.
Oh.
I did a whole act without him because I kept hoping as I got to the next checkpoint
he would join back in.
It would like pull him. No, he was in my game.
Mm-hmm.
And it does a thing where as you kind of move through the map, it will like pull the person to you.
Yeah.
Because it can't separate you too much. And it just wouldn't for like this whole fight. He was just like he was just sitting there and I was just like telling him what I was doing. I was just doing this whole fight by myself.
Yeah.
The last chapter, there's like 2 acts in the last chapter.
Mm-hmm.
He just didn't get any audio. He got sound effects only. We restarted the checkpoint.
Yeah.
We shut the game off and restarted the game. Mm-hmm. He even restarted his Xbox. Like he didn't put it in sleep mode. He did a full restart on his Xbox. Mm-hmm. He would load it in, just sound effects. At that point, I don't even know what the issue is. Like you restarted the Xbox.
That's so weird.
It's weird. It's a very buggy game.
That's too bad. We ran into a few bugs in Gears of War 4 as well. It kept shutting off. Actually, my buddy also had an issue where he was just locked down for some reason and couldn't do anything. So, weird. I'm looking forward to 5. I can't wait.
Yep.
That's going to be good.
I enjoyed my time with it. It's fun.
Yeah. I'm guessing it's roughly as long as 4. Doesn't really overstay its welcome, but long enough.
I don't remember 4. We did 5 in, I want to say...
We did 4 in about 11 hours. Okay, cool. Yeah,
and we didn't do every single thing. I mean, it is open world, but they don't really fill it with much.
Okay.
You're still kind of just, moving across the ice or the sand to go to the next place. You're not really like spending much time in the open world.
Sure. Mario Maker 2 got an update, so I've been playing that with friends, and it's great. Good time.
How is the is it stable online now?
With 3 people, it was fucking horrendous, but one-on-one with another person, it was totally fine. Yeah.
Okay. Can you do one-on-one like co-op?
Yeah, you can do versus and co-op.
Cool. All right. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's good to see.
Yeah. This is stuff that should have probably been there day one, but at least it's there now. So
It's weird it
been
took
fun.
this long for them to do an update.
Yep.
It's also weird that like nothing else kind of came with it. It was just the online.
They changed the way a bunch of items work too.
Like what?
So there's a bunch of stuff that don't count as global ground anymore, so things will despawn on them, which breaks a lot of like on and off automatic levels. There was a glitch before where if you had a sideways thwomp with an item and a note block, you can make that thwomp like fly forever at an angle. And so they patched that out. That was a bug that people found, but it was funny. Weird. Yeah, so they patched that out. That no longer exists. They made it so that when you go through pipes and doors, you have like in multiplayer, you have what's it called, like iframes, so you can't just be like murdered by the level, whatever. If like another player does something and you try to go through the door. So you can like catch up and whatnot. So multiplayer is a little less shitty in that way. There's a whole document full of like the small stuff like that, but it's a whole bunch of small things. Nothing like major.
They also mentioned in the chat, the other big one I knew about is that they added the ability to use both buttons and the touchscreen for the course maker.
Yeah, and the course maker moving around it is faster, so it doesn't take forever to scroll across the screen when you're trying to find something.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, it's good. It got me back into Mario Maker, and I'm willing to take fools on. Hit me up, bitches. Basically. Speaking of hit me up and back into the saddle again, Destiny 2 Shadowkeep came out, so I've been playing that today, actually.
Right. That's on the backlog.
Yeah.
I want to do it. I just have so much other co-op stuff that I'm trying to get through. But I did load up the Xbox version because New Light is out.
Yeah.
So it was definitely cool just having my character there. It was also cool just getting a bunch of retroactive achievements.
Sure. So how does this work? Because you were saying that everybody has a 750 level, even people that have never played before. Like
yeah, that's just like the default now. Is you start at 750.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to do some, I can't remember what they're called, Nightfalls or whatever, the dungeons, essentially, the other night, and The strikes, yeah. I was,
There's strikes, and then there's the Nightfall strike, which is like a hard strike.
Yeah, I was doing the Nightfall strike specifically, and I kept getting paired up with people that, like, obviously didn't know what the fuck they were doing, and it was frustrating. I was like, why does everybody forget how to play this? But now it makes sense, so they probably honestly have never played it before.
That's weird. I loaded it up. I didn't have any missions to do. Although I do hear there. So with the free to play version, New Light, there's like a new intro mission you can do
to like learn how your character works or something.
Well, just to kind of like give you like a catch up on the lore and stuff. Like they kind of made it like an onboarding mission. And apparently, as a returning player, you can access it because it is a fun mission. I don't know how to do that. I didn't see it popping up.
Okay, I'll take a look into it.
But what I was trying to say is I ended up just playing a couple strikes. I had no problems with the people I was joined up with.
Nice. So yeah, that's a thing. I'm happy to be back
Shadowkeep specifically though, because I haven't played any of that yet.
I've only played the first, like, what would you call it, onboarding mission. I got to basically like the expansion's like sanctuary area, where the quest hub.
I hear the moon is haunted.
It's fucked up. Yeah, that's a scary place. I like it. It's real cool.
Right on. Cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to play it. I like that it's like $35.
Yep.
So that's cool.
And we can play together now.
Yeah, I think it's not cross play, but I think our characters just exist. Yeah, our characters just exist online. You also have to like enable cross platform, which did you do that?
I don't know. All I know is that I did the BattleNet to Steam transfer and had to click I authorize this thing like 500 times to get it to
Okay, yeah,
take.
that's I think you did do it then, because I had to like go on to BattleNet
Yeah.
and do it for my PlayStation character, and you have to pick which
Yeah.
character is going to be the moving one.
Right.
And it'll tell you like which which platform do you have the expansions on and stuff.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Uh Destiny 2 continues to be just a nice good shooter.
Yep.
And that's all I've been playing.
All right. So like I said, I finished Gears 5, which means I have started Borderlands 3.
Okay.
And I am this close to turning the dialogue off.
Yeah. God, I hate Borderlands dialogue.
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad.
So, is this more akin to like Borderlands 2 writing, or then?
I could not even tell you.
Okay.
Dude, Borderlands 2 came out like 7 years ago.
It's true. You didn't play that that Siren thing then that came out recently?
Oh, I did.
Oh, okay.
That also sucked. Yes, no, that sucked.
Okay.
The character of Vaughn just sucks. I don't like him.
Okay.
He's from Tales of the Borderlands. Tales from the Borderlands is good. What else? Claptrap sucks.
Yep. True.
Just so many of the characters suck, and they suck, and then they just kind of scream at you.
Yeah, sounds
they
about right.
just yell their bad jokes at you. I don't know. Anyway, apart from that, it plays good. It's Borderlands again. It definitely looks nicer. I enjoy, I enjoy the grind. I enjoy getting the new weapons, seeing what does this gun do now, blah blah blah.
You enjoyed the looting shooting?
I do. I like the looting shooting. However, I will say the loot could be better.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a lot of like, hey, we just beat a boss. No, I don't want any of these guns. Like, I'm not swapping out my guns as much as I would like.
Yeah.
Like the reason this episode we're doing it an hour later is I wanted to get a bit more Borderlands in so I could talk about it more.
Oh, okay.
I think I traded out my main gun once. I played about an hour. Traded out my main gun once. And I would understand that to be like if you're near the end of the game, you're not going to get very many new guns. My character's leveled like 12.
I remember not having the same gun maybe ever for like a lot of those games until the end.
Yeah, I just wish there was more interesting, because that's the thing. There's a lot of guns. What's the number? A bazillion, I think they said. There's a bazillion guns.
Give or take.
So most of them I don't want. Like, I don't care about them.
Yeah.
So it's like, congrats, there's a bunch of guns in here, but like,
but who cares?
The number of times that they're worth me swapping out what I'm using is very low.
Yeah.
Which is just a bit of a bummer, but
yeah.
Whatever. I enjoy it's a great co-op game because we're just chatting, doing our best to ignore whatever's happening in that game.
Yep.
I'm playing Amara, which is the Siren, because I always like playing as the Sirens.
Siren's the only thing worth doing in these games. They're the best.
Yeah, this one's pretty good. This one has a focus on like melee, kind of like what's his name from the first game, which I'm not quite into,
Brick?
But I'm speccing her.
Is it Brick?
Brick, yeah, because he was into punching. Because this girl gets like 6 arms and stuff. I haven't been doing too much of the speccing her towards the melee and the punching, but I just like I enjoy her. I enjoy her character. I got an ability where the closer I am to someone, the more damage I do. So I'm like all about shotguns right now.
Okay.
Just rushing up on people. So that's pretty fun. It has a slide. You know, if you're running and you hit the crouch button, you'll slide. It's not as good as Apex's slide, but I don't know if there's a game that has a slide as good as Apex.
Yeah.
I'm calling it now.
I'm trying to remember Titanfall 2.
That could be close. I haven't played Titanfall 2 for a long time, so
Me
I don't
neither.
know.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I'm enjoying my time with it. So I'm gonna keep going through that. I'm hoping to get far enough in it that we can play through like the Halloween event that's coming out at some time this month.
Okay.
Whatever that would be. I'm just looking forward to it to being like a kind of a somewhat live game that I go back to and play.
Sure.
I do enjoy the Borderlands games. The dialogue and comedy is just awful. It's so bad.
Yeah, I agree.
I might as well jump into Apex because I just mentioned it. Apex Season 3
Yeah.
came out on Tuesday,
And a new
I
map,
believe.
right?
Yes, along with it, a new map called World's End that is way different. It's like it's almost kind of wacky. Like they're definitely kind of going a little bit towards the Fortnite in terms of what they've added, because this map has like weird like vegetation and like an entire ice chunk sticking out and like lava areas and stuff. Like it is just a really weird map compared to the first one, because the first one was all pretty thematically similar. You're in this like kind of stony canyon area, and sometimes you'll get to a place that has more buildings, sometimes you won't. This place is drastically different. Also, there's a train on the map, which is cool. The train moves around the map and you can ride the train. You can put the brakes on the train and stuff, but that's just a fun little addition they put in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the new character Crypto, which is he's quite different. He's their second like radar character. Bloodhound is the other one. So they've only had 2 of these types of characters, but his ability is he can send out a drone that you manually fly around to like spot other enemies and whatnot.
Okay.
Which is nice because it makes him a bit of a passive character. You gotta have to kind of sit down and scan around the area, which I'm really bad at Apex. I like being the passive character. I like Watson setting up walls and stuff, and having enemies come to me and usually kill me. But
Right.
I'm just not very good at the part where I go to them and kill them. So
Okay, fair enough.
so I like Crypto. That's pretty cool. And yeah, season 3 started. Luckily, I had played enough of season 2 that I was able to unlock the new character and the battle pass for free with in-game currency. So that was nice.
Nice. Very good.
But I would say this is a pretty good season to like jump back in, because you can't even play the first map. You can only play the new one. So everyone's kind of learning the ropes right now. So it might be a good jumping back in point if you were looking on seeing what's up with Apex.
Cool. I think I might actually do that. You sold me a little bit. And it's free.
I,
If I had to pay for it, then
oh yeah,
I
it
wouldn't.
is a free to play game. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about some mobile games, because I don't know if you've heard, but Apple Arcade has a lot of really good games in it.
I haven't heard.
Yeah, let me tell you about 2 of them.
Okay.
First off is Assemble with Care. This is from Us2 Games, who made the Monument Valley games.
Oh, okay.
This is way different. This is completely different.
Okay.
This is... I was trying to even think about how to describe it. The closest I could get to is like the Room series of games. Mainly the part where you're interacting with like a puzzle box, kind of.
Oh, okay.
Assemble with Care is... there's a visual novel element to it. I will say first off, the voice acting is great. Especially the main character, I really enjoy it. So you're kind of following this one character as she travels to this town. She is what's her profession? She's a fixer. She just like she does odd jobs. She's like, hey, I'll fix whatever you guys have that's broken. Specifically like machinery things. So someone will be like, hey, my music box is broken. Can you make it fix? Or can you fix it? Can you make it fix? So then you'll just get all the pieces, or a bunch of the pieces that you need at a time, and you just have to kind of put them together almost like a puzzle. I wouldn't really call it a puzzle game, because it's not hard. You pick up one piece, and if it can go there, it'll highlight and tell you where to put it. Really, you just kind of assemble the thing together. So I link it kind of to the Room, because that has a lot of like, they're going to put some kind of like geometric box on your screen, and you're going to rotate it around and tap on things and take things apart. That's basically what you're doing in this.
Mm-hmm.
It is not a difficult game. It is not trying to be difficult. They are just telling like this story with this mild level of gameplay along with it. So it is a pretty small thing.
Okay.
Then again, so is Monument Valley. Like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Technically Monument Valley is a puzzle game, but like the puzzles are mostly like, make sure you hit this, then that one, because you won't be able to proceed if you do it the other way around, right? Like there is no real challenge to Monument Valley. So it's like that again. And I enjoyed it. It's definitely I think it's a cool thing to go through. It's like less than 2 hours. It's like an hour or two. And
Cool.
again, yeah, if you have Apple Arcade, I think it's worth checking out. I like that developer. Although I think some news recently came out that they're like extremely anti-union. So maybe I don't like that developer anymore. I don't know. I have to do some more reading on that, but that's always a bummer when something you like ends up being shitty. But it's 2019, so that's like every week, right?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
And then the other game I've been putting quite a bit of time into is Grindstone.
Okay. I don't know what this is at all.
This is a pretty cool puzzle game. It's a match 3, match as much as you can puzzle game. I think I'm trying to remember who made it, because I think it might be the Adventure Time artist.
Okay.
And when I search up Grindstone, I get a bunch of Minecraft stuff.
Yep. I just did the exact same thing.
So let me look up specifically who's behind. Oh, it's by Cappy, by the way. So that should already kind of say something to you.
Yeah.
Let me see if this article does mention the artist, though. No, it doesn't. Anyway, you play a guy named George, spelt Jorj, who I think he's tired of living in the cold mountains. He wants to take his family to like the beach.
Dude, same.
You're also like just like a huge Viking looking dude. You're ripped and everything. Again, everything looks like Adventure Time. And you go into these challenge rooms. It's not a roguelike. There are specific levels where you need to match as many of the same creatures as you can, and then Jorg really bloodily will slice through all of them. There's like a weird level of like gore in it, but it's like extremely cartoony gore.
Okay.
And so what you're doing is your goal is you have to kill a certain number of creatures, which will open the door, then you can escape. But there's always like a second or third objective. Like usually once you open the door, a chest will come down and a key will come down. So you have to kill a specific enemy to get the key. Then you'll have to go over to the chest and, smash the chest to get whatever's in there. You're collecting stones or collecting resources that you can use to heal yourself or get different equipment. Because it's not a roguelike, when you get an item, you get to keep it. You get special abilities, which is cool. So I have like an ability that what'll happen is some specific enemies will start like moving, like they'll get fired up. Mm-hmm. And if you end your movement adjacent to one of those, they'll attack you and you can only get hit 3 times. Okay. So you have to kind of really plan out where you're going to have George land. And the movement is, as long as there's a same type of creature that you're currently attacking, not just adjacent, but even diagonally, you can keep moving. So you can chain up to like 20 of them if they're connected by one space away. You will also, anytime you get a 10 combo, it'll put down, I think the grindstone or a grindstone on the map. And if you collect a grindstone during your combo, you can then change color to go to a different type of enemy. And there's usually 3 or 4 colors on the map. So that's how you can get some really big combos, is if you keep collecting the grindstones from previous combos. Mm-hmm. But then you'll get some characters that's like, hey, and the chest as well. You can only like move on to that if you already have a combo going. Like chests you can't interact with unless you've already hit 5 enemies in this combo. Chests are 5. Some enemies will be a 10. So you have to have a line of 10 creatures you're about to kill, and then they're the 11th. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to damage them. So that's how you kind of plan out your moves. So some of the items you get, I have an arrow right now that'll let me just do 1 damage to anything on the board. So if I want to specifically take out something near where like I know the end of my run is going to be and I don't want to take damage, I can do that. I can get a shield wherever I sit at the end of my turn and they're going to start attacking, I won't take any damage for that 1 turn. So that can be nice if it's like, man, this combo is really good, but it's going to put me right beside something that's going to hit me. Well, I'll put up my shield and I'll use my 1-time use shield.
Yeah.
So there's stuff like that. There's boss characters. It's really cool. I'm in the second world. Each world seems to have about 15 stages. And it just looks absolutely gorgeous. I love the art style. You can go back to the inn and open up blueprints and you like drink recovery beer to like get your health back. It's a pretty good one. I would definitely, again, another Apple Arcade game I would definitely recommend for sure. That's Grindstone.
Cool. Yeah, it sounds awesome.
And then the last game I've been playing this week is Bad North.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is I got this through Game Pass. It's Game Pass at the moment. Bad North is described as a minimalist RTS, which is actually called a tower defense game. I don't know why they won't use the phrase tower defense, but it's a tower defense game.
Does it sound maybe
this game
is
extremely
kiddie?
my shit.
Yeah. Okay.
First off, the way you moved each stage looks like FTL.
Okay.
So you're picking specific nodes to move to, and falling behind you is some kind of like deadly line that moves forward each turn.
Okay.
So you have to make sure you're moving forward, and you need to decide how slow am I going to go through these islands, like literally islands, because this is a Viking game.
Right.
So that I stay away from that line as I'm moving forward. The way it works, though, is you get generals, and each general is a representation of 9 units, and
Okay.
you can kind of as you collect enough. So what your goal is you will have an island to protect, and surrounding the island will be mist, and each wave will be some kind of Viking boat will come in with enemies, and then they'll try to be attacking the buildings and the houses on the island. You have to obviously stop that. So you need to each island is on a grid. You need to line up your characters so that they'll intercept that each coming wave and take them out. And then for however many buildings you've managed to save, you'll get a certain amount of coins. You can use those coins to purchase skills and upgrade your generals, which again will upgrade your like 9 units. So like, for example, you can turn one general and his units all into archers, which are super useful because that means you can start shooting arrows at the boats as they're coming towards you. Another one you can get are like pikemen, who are really strong defense, but they're really bad on the move. So if the enemies kind of run past them, they're not going to be very good at like running past, like keeping up with them and doing damage. They're more of just, we are going to sit here and attack. And then there's also like a kind of in the middle, just general all around good fighter with a shield and stuff like that. So you can pick out, so you'll start collecting more generals as you go to specific islands. And then you want to kind of min-max who you're going to upgrade. Do you want to upgrade one and make them really strong, or do you want to kind of spread the wealth? A good reason to spread the wealth is you can send only a certain number of your generals to different islands. So you can actually take on several different islands in one turn, which is nice. That'll get you kind of just more money going faster as the line approaches. But you got to make sure you're strong enough, because as you go further to the right, obviously the enemies get stronger. Some of the enemies are like crazy strong, so you have to like really be ready. And then you got to decide like which islands you want to go to. Some will give you more generals. Some will give you special items you can use. You got to pick, do I want to go for the big island that has a ton of houses, which means I'll get a bunch of money if I protect it, but it also means there's going to be a lot of enemies coming at you.
Sure.
So that's kind of nice too. The way the islands are set up are also key, because let's say one whole island is just a cliffside and there's no beach. You don't even have to worry about that side, because it's only going to get attacked on the beach side. So it's really my jam. I really like just being able to like see who's coming. Okay, I'm going to set up my units in this exact position. I'm going to have the archers out there, and then when they get too close, I'm going to pull the archers back, and I'm going to put my pikemen right away. The one thing I wish it was a little better at telling you is kind of how many units you had left in that set of 9. You can see it visually, and that's what you have to kind of do, is you have to kind of zoom in and count. But I wish there was just an easy way, as I'm like scrolling through with the right bumper to select my units, to know, oh, these guys are pretty weak. I should send them back to restore their health.
Like a health bar or something to show.
Yeah, just something like that, because it can be hard to tell, especially during a fight.
Yeah.
How many of those guys are my guys? Because if you lose all 9 of them, that guy's just gone for the rest of the game.
Sure.
Which can really suck if you put a lot of money into that. So I actually, on my first run, I was going through and I lost one of my main guys, and it was just like, it was devastating. And I was like, I need to start this run over. I've learned a whole bunch more about this game. I know how to min-max a lot better.
Yeah.
But the game's also super nice. It has tons of difficulty options. You can even put on a mode to just restart a map if you want. So at the end of something, it'll be like, hey, do you want to just replay that one instead? Which is nice because it's like, man, I just did not. I think I can do it better. I can do this level better. So I chose to have that as an option if I wanted it. I haven't had to use it yet. But Bad North is really cool. I'm really digging it. I think if you're an FTL fan, this will kind of it'll do something for you. You should look into Bad North. And again, it's on Game Pass. It's also, it was just announced, I think today. It was either today or yesterday. It is coming to mobile on the 12th. I think it's going to be $5 on at least iOS.
And you can pre-register on Android, which I did as you were talking. That's why I was looking at my second screen a bunch.
Right. I think it'll be a really good mobile game. It looks super nice.
Yeah.
So I think that's, check out Bad North if you're an FTL fan, or if you're, tower defense fan. I think that'll be right up your alley.
Cool.
So let's do some news.
Okay. I don't think I know any of these news stories. So.
This first one is super interesting.
Okay.
There was an update patch for CS:GO in France that lets you scan the loot boxes with an X-ray scanner. Right,
because they're not allowed to have gambling mechanics, right? I'm guessing.
Right. The way this works, because it's like a double-edged sword. You get one X-ray scanner, and you can only use it if you purchase what the X-ray scanner scans. Which seems convoluted. What that means is you get a loot box.
Yeah.
You scan it. Yeah. Let's say there's best gun in there. All right. You see best gun, but you don't want best gun. So you're like, nah, that's cool. You get a second loot box. You cannot scan that second loot box until you redeem that first loot box.
I see.
So it's not a thing to see, like, do I actually want to open this one? Like, what's in there? It's like a one-time use. Here's what's in there. Now you have to take it, or you're not going to be able to look into the other ones.
This isn't even a band-aid on the problem. It's kind of just rerouting.
It doesn't solve anything.
It doesn't solve anything at all.
The only advantage it gives you is the one time you use it, because then you can decide yes or no. Is it worth using my money on a different loot box? But once you choose to do it on a different loot box, you don't have the scanner anymore.
All right.
How weird is this?
I hate this. This is not okay. But I'm assuming
I'm going to quickly read the few sentences they have on their patch notes.
Okay.
Just so you can hear their terminology.
Yeah.
In France, every container must first be placed into the X-ray scanner to reveal the item inside before purchasing a key. Excuse me. The X-ray scanner will consume the container and reveal the item inside. To use the X-ray scanner again, the revealed item must be claimed. It is not possible to scan another container without claiming the revealed item. So,
interesting.
It's weird. What a weird thing, right?
And okay, I see. So in France, containers can no longer be purchased, but can be sold. Can you sell the container that you've X-rayed then, if you don't like it? And then when somebody buys it in the community marketplace, then you could use it again?
I don't know. I don't know about that. Maybe.
I wish they had described that. These patch notes suck. This is pissing me off. Fuck them, dude. Holy shit, that's annoying.
It is definitely.
Oh my god! It got like my blood pressure up. I'm so mad about this.
What it seems like, because it's so convoluted, is it's like, how do we still keep making all of this kind of shitty, dirty money?
Yeah.
But like make it seem like we're doing something, but like we're not really doing something.
Totally.
Like,
that's exactly what this is.
Just like dance around this in the weirdest way that people just get confused, and like, so that all the podcasters out there who talk about this will just move on to the next story.
Yep. No, you're right. That's exactly what it is. How do we confuse the consumer and maybe the government officials to make it look like we did something, but we didn't do anything? Oh my god, I'm so
That's
angry.
literally, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, speaking of which, moving on. PlayStation Now, I guess it's like Game Pass now. I don't know who pays attention to PlayStation Now. Uh,
PlayStation Now could be good if they allowed downloading, but they don't, so it's
I think
garbage.
they do. I think that's the thing is
They
I think
changed
it
it?
was streaming, and I think a while back they changed it to downloading. So it
Oh,
is just
okay.
basically Game Pass.
You know what?
But like,
That's fine then now.
so the one thing though is like who's even talking about this, because they are in no way getting out there and being as aggressive with the games as Game
Right.
Pass is. Um,
But
so like there's
you know why it's fine is because you can actually download the PlayStation app on PC and play those games on your PC.
sure. I mean, you can. Oh, the console ones.
Yeah, like I had Bloodborne on my PC for a while through PlayStation Now.
Is like, are you? How does that work? Are you like
It's like
streaming?
it was streaming it through, but that
Okay,
was
so you still need to have
before.
some kind of good internet connection, right?
Yeah,
Like it's
but
basically the Steam Link.
if this is download now, I bet they took that feature out. I haven't had the
It
PlayStation Now app for a long time.
okay. Yeah, it's anyway. There's kind of two stories here. First one is they basically cut the price in half instead of $20 a month. Also, it was $20 a month.
It was
Holy
$20 a
smoke!
month. Yeah.
It's now $10 a month, which makes it the same price as Game Pass. If for some reason you're buying the $10 a month thing and not they're like, here's 6 months for $1. Also, I think Game Pass just announced you get Spotify Premium for 6 months if you sign up.
Oh, it's so funny.
I feel like what happens is like PlayStation's like, okay, we'll cut the price in half, and Xbox is like, hold my drink. Here we go. Here's another thing and another thing. And Game Pass is just running circles around this. The second part is they added some new titles. In case you were curious, what gets added to PlayStation Now?
Okay.
God of War.
Yeah,
Okay,
great.
kind of old last year. Great game though.
Yep.
Uncharted 4, even older game.
Yep.
Grand Theft Auto 5, very old game, but I understand it is like the most popular game.
The most
And
popular
Infamous
media.
Second Son? How was Infamous Second Son not already on this?
How is this? Yeah, that doesn't hang with these other three.
Infamous Second Son is a good game.
But the fact that
How
it's
was
like,
that not, how did this thing not launch with that?
yeah,
That was almost a launch title.
yeah, no, that's fucking crazy. That's so funny.
That's why I'm like, who even talks about PlayStation Now? Because like their big news is here's these 4 games. Game Pass is like, yo, here's 4 awesome games every week, basically.
Yeah. Oh, you wanted to play Gears of War 5? Well, here's the Ultimate Edition. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
There you go.
Sure, I'll take that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Here's your $1 for the month, Xbox.
Yeah.
Um,
This is good steps for PlayStation though. This should have been a while ago that they cut the price down and like tried to push it, but I guess better late than never.
we have someone in the chat saying PS Now only forces streaming on PS3 games, which I have to assume is like an infrastructure thing because
It
that's
must
weird.
be. Yeah, it must be. How odd, huh? Okay. Cool.
This next story is a pretty short one. Bungie basically came out and said that they plan to have a non-Destiny IP by 2025.
Okay.
No news on what that is or anything really.
That's exciting.
But that is interesting to see that they're doing stuff outside of Destiny. I like Destiny a lot. They seem to have a lot of plans for Destiny, especially that they're independent. But I guess they will have another IP going in the next few years.
Good for them. Good.
Minecraft Earth launches in early access in October. In case anyone was excited about this game.
I will try this for a day at least, and then see.
That's what the thing is. Yeah, I'll play this for like maybe 3 days,
like a weekend or something. Yeah,
and I'll see. I don't know. At this point, it has to do something different than all the Niantic games because, like,
yeah,
if they're too similar, I don't play them. Like, I didn't play that Harry Potter game for very long because I already played a whole bunch of Pokemon Go.
Sure.
And I stopped playing that for a reason.
Yep.
You know what? You know what really put the nail in the coffin for me with Pokemon Go? That when I knew I was done.
What?
It's when I was in Europe and I didn't open, and I thought to myself, I should open the app and get like a region exclusive.
Yep.
And I opened the app and it said, "Oh, your account's signed out. You need to sign in," which makes sense. I haven't opened the app in probably a year,
Okay.
and I didn't care enough to look up my login details.
Yeah, it's dead.
At that point, I was like, in fact, is it on my phone? Because if it is, I'm going to take it off my phone right now.
Wow.
Here we go.
Top-down exclusive.
Exclusive. You don't get this on the other podcasts.
No, you don't.
Delete Pokemon Go. Gone.
Damn. Can't believe it.
End
the
of an era,
fucking
man.
madman. He did it.
Yep. Only some countries will initially have access to the game in October, but by the end of the year, Mojang plans to make Minecraft Earth available globally on iOS and Android.
Yep.
We'll see how that goes.
Yep.
I'll play it for a few days. We'll see.
I'll try it for sure. I hope it does something new. That'd be cool.
Yep, I agreed. And ending on a downer note, Alpha Dream, the developers behind the Mario and Luigi RPG series, has filed for bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Which is definitely a bummer.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of surprised to hear that. I feel like I don't really hear a lot of like Nintendo backed companies filing for bankruptcy or disappearing. Like they're usually like guaranteed to make sales.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
I think what I heard was, let's see if this article specifically says it. They were just significantly in debt. I think they had invested in some kind in whatever their next game was. So people were assuming they were working on something on the Switch if it was causing so much debt and high development cost. But as of March 2018, the company was facing nearly 4.3 million in debt, which contributed to the bankruptcy filings. So it's been a while going.
Yeah.
It's a bummer. I would have probably I would have been ready for a new one on the Switch. Whatever they were coming out with, I probably would have played.
Yeah.
I didn't play what wasn't the most recent one, like our 3DS remake of, was it the first one or Bowser's Inside Story? I think it was Bowser's Inside Story. Yes, it was Bowser's Inside Story plus Bowser Jr.'s Journey. That was the additional stuff. So
yeah.
Anyway, pour one out for Alpha Dream.
Yeah, it's too bad. Just couldn't make the jump, I guess, into Switch. I think if they were able to get something out, it would have sold enough to maybe help, but
I agree. I'm surprised they didn't just do a remastered thing on the Switch.
I'm kind of surprised too.
But maybe those games are harder to do because they weren't like a Wii U game. So that because they had to deal with all the 2 screens and the touch screen stuff. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah.
Let's do some questions. If you want to send... Oh, actually, sorry. You have some free games to talk about.
Yeah. Cities Skylines and Dishonored 2 added to Xbox Game Pass for PC. Both of which are thumbs up for me, so check those out. I mean, we talked about it before. Destiny. Go ahead and download that shit. Get into it. It's good.
The new light version is the free-to-play version, yep.
Free-to-play, yep. And then if you like it, you can go ahead and get that expansion for $35 US, 40 Canadian. And Epic has Minute on there. So if you are a Patreon backer and we're thinking, oh, I haven't listened to their episode on Minute because I wanted to play that, but I haven't had the ability to. Well, now you do. Go ahead and download that shit and make sure you sign up for our Patreon. Listen to us talk about it after you're done and see if you agree and whatnot.
Twitch announced their next lines of games. Do you want me to go through those? I have them up.
Oh, sure. I don't actually know what they are.
Adam Wolf. I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Walking Dead Michonne.
Okay.
Stranger Things 3, the game, which actually just came out a couple months ago, so that's pretty new.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Deadlight Director's Cut and Serial Killer. Sorry, Serial Cleaner. I don't know what that is.
Okay. So again, City Skylines and Dishonored 2 are pretty good, and so is Minute.
Walking Dead Michonne's not bad.
I haven't played that one. Out of those, I think that's the one I would probably be the most excited for.
All right, now let's do some questions. If you want to send in a question, it is topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, and John's P.O. Box. This first one comes from Kevin, and he wants to know what's the best Castlevania game, including Bloodstained.
I mean, when you say best Castlevania, I automatically go to Castlevania 3 because of the rest that he's probably talking about if he says including Bloodstained are more the Metroidvania style. And I don't think those are the best Castlevania style, but that's a personal thing. Bloodstained's okay. The best, like, Metroidvania Castlevania, probably, like, Aria of Sorrow. I like that one.
Yeah, I haven't played the DS ones, which I know people are way into. At this point, I'd probably just do Bloodstained, just because of how, like, updated it is.
Sure.
I mean, Symphony of the Night's an easy one, but at this point, I'd rather play, like, a more current game than a PS1 game.
Sure. Yep.
Second question from Kevin. What are some good side-scrolling RPGs? What is a side-scrolling RPG?
Does he mean like Dust and Elysian Tale?
See, that's a Metroidvania to me that has RPG elements. Like, what is a side-scrolling RPG?
Yeah. Does he mean like Darkest Dungeon?
I don't know what he means. I'm trying to even look up what this genre is.
All right, so
there's a question on Reddit. This was in our gaming suggestions. Is there a good 2D side-scroller RPG?
Okay.
The first answer is Dust and Elysian Tale. So I guess that's the best one.
Okay. Odin Sphere is fucking great. And I think they released a remake of that for the new generation, so.
Like, are we just saying it has to have a side-scrolling camera and there's and like your character levels up?
I think so. Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game, if you can get your hands on it, it's really good.
I mean, yeah, like this could be like anything, right? This is like every game has RPG mechanics in it now.
Yep.
And next year every game will have a loot in it. We're almost there. 90% of the games have loot in them.
Yeah.
Next year it'll be 100.
We're getting to the point of the singularity where every game is the same exact thing with different stories.
Yep. I mean, it eventually, like, Assassin's Creed will have every game inside of it, right?
At some point you'll get does, honestly.
Yeah, right? Like, those things are getting so expansive for sure.
Yeah. So, do you have any more to add? I think those are some good suggestions, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, Dust is good. I like Shadow Complex.
That's a good one. Yep.
Sure, there's something.
Cool. Green Fantastic says, what's your favorite celebrity cameo in a game? Okay, we need to distinguish something first. Is this celebrity voiced, but they're still a character, or the celebrity is themselves in the game, in the world?
Is it? Would you consider the voice a cameo?
Well, here's the thing. Mark Hamill as the Joker is the best Joker. So specifically that the Arkham games have his Joker is kind of like a weird cameo for that Joker and Mark Hamill.
Now I'm curious. Does the definition of cameo, does it have to be a short thing?
Probably, yeah.
Because I would say the Joker is like a main character in those games.
For sure.
They're like the whole time.
Yep.
And then at that point, I wouldn't say that's like a cameo. I would just say this celebrity voiced this character.
Sure. Okay. So small bit parts.
So I'll give you the one that popped into my head that I really like.
Yeah.
Saints Row the Third, Burt Reynolds is in there as Burt Reynolds. And not only was that surprising, but your main character is also extremely surprised and way into that. And that was just a great moment.
You're right. That is a good one. Damn.
I still remember a character going, "It's Burt fucking Reynolds."
I don't know if I have a good answer for this. I'm trying to think of some other cameos, even just in general.
Let's see. Video game celebrity cameo. Yeah, not a lot of the ones pop out. Yeah, see, these examples are not great. They have like Kevin Spacey in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Again, I think there's just a character.
He is a character, and that's not like a great cameo either, frankly.
Martin Sheen in Mass Effect. I actually do kind of like that one.
The Elusive
the
Man.
Elusive Man. That's just kind of fun.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
They also on this list have 50 Cent as 50 Cent.
That doesn't count. Fuck that. That can't count.
Actually, okay, those are just celebrities who have appeared in video games. I'm going to look up this article of 18 lesser-known celebrity cameos. What do we got?
Okay.
We got,
okay.
I guess Chloe Grace Moretz is in Dishonored.
I had no idea. Okay.
Who did she? She's Emily Caldwin. She's the main character.
Really? Wow.
In Dishonored 2, right? Isn't it Emily Caldwin? Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Fassbender's in Fable 3. See, that sounds like a cameo to me. That's cool.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. Didn't know about that one at all.
Fassbender is hard to spot as the game's villain.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. All right. I feel like that's more just who even remembers Fable 3 that much.
Yeah.
Steve Carell is in Outlaw Golf.
I don't even know what Outlaw Golf is. So, okay.
Outlaw Golf injected all sorts of crass humor into the gentleman's game when it released in 2002.
Okay.
Who else is on there? Ariana Grande is in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. I think I knew that.
Okay.
They have Keith David and Roddy Piper from the Saints Row games. That's obvious.
And Keith David also from Mass Effect.
Yep. Yeah, not a lot of these are great.
There's not a whole lot of great ones, honestly.
No.
I think the one you pointed out is good.
I think that Burt Reynolds one is the top one.
Mainly because like it matches perfectly that he's playing himself, so it's a perfect cameo, and that the game references it. Like,
yeah. And they like know it's ridiculous that he's there.
Yeah.
VGC Kenny writes, "What do you think is better? A game where half of the game is the best game ever, but the other half is the worst game ever, or a game that is solid all around, having no peaks but no valleys either?"
Best game ever and worst game. Polarizing opposites.
I think I would agree. And I think we kind of like talked about this a little, or I mentioned this last week in terms of like the games that are just kind of in the middle there, like the hardest ones to review because there's just nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
you and I come from a weird niche when we talk about this stuff because we have to talk about them. It's easy to talk about things we hate and love, and it's hard to talk about things that we were just okay with the whole time. Whereas the consumer, maybe you just want like a fun all-around thing that was never great or terrible. It was just enjoyable. Like, so
true.
I could see both sides to this, but for me, I definitely want those highs, and if that comes at the expense of low lows, I'm okay with it, usually.
Sure, right. This also brings up the question of like, and I always remember this one. I remember Will Smith, who used to work at Tested, that Will Smith, talking about how when he was reviewing the Orange Box, when that came out,
yeah,
he would say Portal by itself is a 10 out of 10 game.
Yeah.
But they gave that game and they gave the Orange Box a 9 out of 10 because Half-Life Episode 2 isn't great.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do in that scenario? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If a piece of it is worthy of like a 10 out of 10, but something else in there is not great, is it still like there's a 10 out of 10 experience in here, or does that bring the product down in some way? Like,
that one's
this
actually
is such a weird.
This
like
is a
fundamental.
Weird, yeah.
Like, it's obviously a person by person. What do you think?
I don't know. I've never actually considered this. This is almost like a gaming philosophy question.
It is definitely like a philosophy question for sure. Like, I mean, you could even just like break it down to like if like a single game. What if you
Yeah.
loved 90% of the game and the ending wasn't great?
There's a
But you
lot of
think like
those I
up to
have.
that ending, you were like, this is 10 out of 10. This is so good. I'm having it is firing on all cylinders. This is so good.
I think that case is easier to rate a 9 out of 10 and just say it just like failed it's those collection ones like you were saying with the orange box specifically. That's a little weirder. But so in that case, the orange box, I think you do just give it the 10 out of 10 because there's a 10 out of 10 experience in there. And then the other stuff you can ignore if you want to. Whereas when it's one single game that has a bad ending, it's part of that whole experience, right?
What if it's like just the mode? What if let's say Doom 2016 came out and the multiplayer was just not good, but the single player was a 10 out of 10. What does Doom 2016 get?
10 out of 10.
But but you would say that does not get the 10 out of 10 if like the story's ending is bad?
Yeah. I think it's weird because when you get into those things too, I think you have to take into account what it's obvious that they put the most time into. When they should like ship out, you guys can work on the multiplayer. We're going to do the single player thing because we care about that. I think that's a single player game with multiplayer. Whereas like maybe arguably some of the Call of Duties are multiplayer games with the single player tacked on, you know? So
Sure.
yeah, it's a weird case by case in those, I think.
It is weird. It's an interesting kind of thought experiment
It is, yeah.
of how you'd go down with it. In the chat, someone's saying your ups can drown the downs. I would argue some of the some of the downs can drag down some of the ups. Like I think that goes both ways. Maybe I'm just a pessimist.
I just realized the chat for me hasn't loaded for about half an hour.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything. Wow. Yeah, I don't agree. I think the ups, if we were to gauge it by numbers, every up I think is a +2 and every down is a -1. I think the ups will always be better than the downs.
I don't think you can just generally say that because each up and down is going to be different.
No, every up and down is the exact
There's
same.
going to be significant ups and significant downs.
No, they're all the exact same. Every one.
Okay. All right. Well, you do you, man. I'm not your parents.
You sure?
Yep.
Okay. Where the hell are we? Hebrew Lantern says Happy New Year. What are some of your favorite holidays and holiday traditions? It's the Jewish New Year tonight.
Happy Jewish New Year.
Yeah, that's whenever he posted that. I think that was like a few days ago. Favorite holidays and holiday traditions. Eating at Thanksgiving. It's the best. Just a nice, good dinner.
I've never been a big Thanksgiving person. It wasn't a big thing in my family.
Mm.
Thanksgiving down here is better than up there, though. It's obviously bigger, and we get like 2 days off.
Yeah, I don't think we got 1 day, I think, up here.
You guys usually get 1 day off.
1 day, yeah.
And because down here it's always on a Thursday, so we get the Friday off as well. So it just means a 4-day weekend for me.
Yeah.
And then Black Friday's around that, so it means probably a week or two before Thanksgiving, I was getting a whole bunch of games on sale.
Yep. It's not a holiday, but I like Halloween. I like the dressing up and the like everybody kind of into horror thing and the spooks, and I like all that sort of thing, even though it's not a holiday.
Yeah. I think I'm just, easy one. I like Christmas a lot. It means I'm going to go home and see my family. I'm going to get to chill out for like at least a week because, everywhere I've worked, they've taken that week off. I've been lucky that I work in places where they take the Christmas to New Year's break off.
Yeah.
So it means I get to just chill out. I get to play all the games that I picked up at Black Friday that I'm never going to get through as I stress and rush to get to Game of the Year.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. Yeah, I think Christmas I hated growing up, but it's changed for me as well as I've gotten older. It's been a nice time to get together with family and stuff like that. I think it just values change a little bit
I've
too.
always been to Christmas. I was one of those kids that could barely sleep
Oh, really?
waiting for Christmas Day, to the point where it got to the point of like we would wake up at 5 a.m. and be like, is it late enough? We can actually go down now. We can go to the tree
Oh,
and
yeah.
do stuff. To the point where my dad now has turned that on us. Now that me and my sister sleep more, my dad will now wake up early because he's a very morning person. He's like, yo, it's time to wake up, kids.
Yeah.
Revenge time. We're doing Christmas. And it's like, okay.
You know, it's bad if your dad is waking you up. He must be a morning person. Jesus Christ.
My dad is a super morning person for sure. What else am I gonna say? Also, and this is just kind of around the holiday times, and this has been such a thing. So obviously, I'm a big Giant Bomb fan. I really like their Game of the Year podcast that they put out between Christmas and New Year's, and because they are so consistent with that, it has just been ingrained in during my holiday break. I'm gonna have a whole bunch of like Game of the Year podcasts to listen to, and I really appreciate that.
Oh, okay.
Dead in Sky. Have you ever had a very trivial reason for waiting on or refusing to play a game? For example, I'm semi-legitimately holding out on Untitled Goose Game until either a Canadian Goose mod gets released or the skin comes as DLC so I can have a more immersive asshole goose experience.
That's hilarious.
I do. That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's weird.
It depends what you mean by trivial, but no. Usually if I have the money and I want to buy something, I buy it. So I don't usually hold out for like...
Yeah, I can't think of a trivial reason for not playing a game. I think maybe the closest is like if I lose a save, then I'm going to be like, all right, well, screw you. I'm out of here. But I don't think that's that trivial.
That's not trivial. That's a waste of time replaying the stuff you had to do again.
Yeah, I can't think of a reason where... Like, can you think of any time you like boycotted a game?
Yeah. For gross like company practices, I for sure have.
Okay, sure.
But that's not trivial to me anyway.
No, I'm not saying that's trivial for sure. I was just trying to think of like any reasons, and then I was going to see if there was maybe if that would bring something to light.
Sure, yeah.
I can't think of a time I really specifically said I'm fundamentally not going to play this game. I mean, gotcha games at this point, I'm just like, I'm good. Just because it's a gotcha game. Like, I'll pass on those. So I guess that's kind of trivial.
What about games you guys think you can get through TDP Plus? You know what? I have put out playing My Friend Pedro because I figured that might eventually be a winner for TDP Plus. Otherwise, I was going to get that when that came out. So that's sure, I'll go with that. A trivial reason I have put off playing games
because we're hoping that in the future
that we'll get it for free, essentially.
Okay, yeah, that's weird because if it's a game I really want to play, I'm not going to make it a TDP Plus game. Like, it has to be like a caliber of game, or my interest level in the game has to be low enough that I'm like, I'm good waiting off on it.
Sure. I could see that. Yeah. Like
So,
Dicey
and
Dungeons.
I feel because of that, it gets taken out of this question because I am no longer putting it aside. I've already made the decision of, I don't want to play this right away.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Kind of thing.
For me, I'm just going to say that's probably the closest for me.
Yeah, I guess so. And keep in mind, like, we have definitely played TDP Plus games that there have been games on TDP Plus that we've played before, definitely with Paul a lot of the time. So that happens too. Like, sometimes someone else wants to have an excuse to get forced to play a game.
Sure. Also, just to make Zeiss feel a little bit bad about asking that question, do you think it's trivial that we want to provide content for the people that support us? Because I don't. Man.
Savage.
All right. Final Insanity writes in and says, I've been playing through the Mega Man Zero series recently, and while they're still very much Mega Man games, they feel a bit more like 2D character action games due to the fast-paced gameplay and grading system. Not quite on the level of Bayonetta or Metal Gear Rising or etc., but very similar vibes while sticking to the core Mega Man formula. Are there any games, be it standalone or from a series, that you've played that, while primarily part of one genre, had elements that made it feel more like a different genre? Let's play on hard mode and say RPG, does not count as like.
I'm gonna say like this is every game. Every game is
Yeah.
slowly becoming the same game.
Yeah.
What the Golf is a golf game that is not really a golf game.
Sure.
So that is an every game.
Okay. Part of one genre had elements that made it feel more like a different genre. Oh.
I mean, I guess you kind of any like crossover game, like Creature in the Well is a good one.
Yeah.
Or Yoku's Island Express.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that kind of straddles the line.
Yoku's Island Express, man. Damn. That is a game. I like that one.
Maybe even like Into the Breach, where sure it's a tactics game, but it's really kind of just a game of chess.
Yeah.
Like, it is so tightly tactics.
Yep, that's true.
And then maybe if I was kind of getting spicy, maybe Siege. That game
I was
is
thinking
extremely
Siege.
tactical.
Yeah, I was thinking Siege, where it's like it's a shooter. It plays like a Tom Clancy game, but it's really like kind of a murder puzzle in real time.
Yeah, like it is a first person shooter, but like if you're looking at high level play, it is a lot of like, no, you need to stand here or here. You need to make a hole here, here, and here.
Yeah.
And you need to shoot at these specific times. Like it is the level of tactics in that game, I think, pull it out of, or I think allow it to be an answer to this question.
Sure. What about something like Breath of the Wild, where it's a Zelda game, but the new take on it is more like an open world survival thing, weirdly?
I don't know. I feel like Zelda game. I feel like a Zelda game implies like the dungeon structure, right?
Yeah. And they kind of pay like homage to it a little bit with the way they do it. A little bit.
I think I would have. The reason I wouldn't answer that there is I would say like it's an open world game that is just skinned with Zelda. Like it's just themed after Zelda almost.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like it's not. I don't think it's necessarily a bad answer. I just probably wouldn't put it near the top of the most obvious kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. So I guess like we could even talk about the Mario RPG games. That they're like Mario games, but they're RPG.
Yeah, that's a similar thing. Is I would say that is just an RPG that is just Mario skinned.
Mm-hmm.
Same with like Paper Mario.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe kind of near like the end of the Paper Mario ones, because they kind of got less RPG-ish and they kind of became more action games. So they started straddling some lines.
Mm-hmm.
They also got worse. That's a side topic, but
sure.
Dead in Sky writes again and says, this came up recently because a friend of mine is in a cast. But do you have any recommendations on good games she can play with only one hand? PC and Xbox One specifically helps.
I got used to playing with one hand, if you know what I mean.
Damn. I actually thought about me because I had a broken wrist the last year.
You're right. Yeah.
As in this exact scenario.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, what did I play? I played a lot of Pokemon Quest.
Okay.
Is that what it was called? Were you just was it Pokemon Quest?
Yes.
I think it was Pokemon Quest.
I'm pretty sure you're right. Yeah.
That is not a PC or a Xbox game, but it's on phones, and I have to assume this person has a phone. Yeah, it's Pokemon Quest. That's a game that you just kind of watch the Pokemon battle each other. Very easily one-handed. Mobile games in general are typically very one-handed.
Yep.
So that's a go-to one.
Any tactics game is good for this. Stuff that there's pauses in between turns.
Yep. For sure. Visual novels, obviously good.
Novels are good. Yep.
Basically anything that isn't like have like active time moving along with it. So like a Pokemon game would be good.
So they put a kappa because Magic the Gathering Arena, but yeah, any card game it fits in this as well. Hearthstone, Magic, the Slay the Spire, it would be good for this. Dicey Dungeons, I think.
Oh yeah, and that's on Xbox.
And then you can get your friend to listen to our TDP Plus episode coming up on Dicey Dungeons and see if they like
or
that.
The one that we did on Slay the Spire.
Or the one that we did on Slay the Spire, so a little cross-pollination.
Soon we'll have a TDP Plus episode for every game.
and then we can just go ahead and pepper in advertisements for ourselves everywhere. Perfect.
Yep, it'll be great. It'll be good. Everyone's excited about that.
There's a Steam
I'm trying to
curator
think of more
called One
Xbox
Handed
games.
Gaming also that she can just check out what they recommend, which is kind of funny.
Is that a thing? One-handed gaming?
Yeah. Their whole stupid gimmick is because the other one needs a beer or whatever. It's like, yeah, okay, I get it, bro. Fucking morons. But whatever. They still like.
Oh,
You're gonna probably.
I thought it was gonna be something like, oh, that's like that's good for like like disabled people. Like this is an actual good thing.
Nope. It's Dude Bros because gaming with beer. Beer. They're so cool.
Is this a website or like a YouTube channel? What is it?
It's a Steam curator.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I'm gonna look them up right now, but they have a lot of the stuff we've already recommended, a lot of like tactic stuff. Papers, Please is on here. That's
like Into the Breach would be on here.
Divinity Original Sin, I do recommend just in general. I think that's a good one, and like for RPG stuff, I really like. I think I'm the only one on this podcast that likes it too. Dragon Age Origins, like a lot, and you can like Inquisition, you can.
That's a one-handed game.
Well, you can pause in between turns, like, and then set up your party, and then unpause it, let it play through and stuff. So yeah.
All right. Well, there's a whole bunch of stuff.
Final question from Hayes. Yep. Since many games are getting into the battle royale idea, like Tetris and Civilization, how would you make a battle royale type of game from some untapped genres like sports, RPGs, visual novels / dating sims, or any particular series like Zelda or Street Fighter? So dating sims, I think, is the obvious one, right? It's basically like The Bachelor. You would just make.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm trying to think how that works. You have a whole bunch of people and you're just like giving gifts to the Bachelor, hoping that they will let you on to the next round, basically. Yeah. Okay. I did not think that was the obvious one, but yeah, that does make sense. Nice.
Rhythm game battle royale. Let's see it happen. I'm down. That would be pretty cool.
Rhythm game? Interesting.
That could be neat. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. A lot of these, I think they like the Tetris one is almost cheating because it's basically like a single player game that everyone's just kind of like trying to last long enough.
Totally.
And you're just kind of sending garbage to the other person. So you could theoretically put that scenario into every one of them. Even like, let's take Street Fighter, for example. Everyone's playing against a computer. If you beat your computer, someone else now has to fight 2 computers. Yep. As you move on to like the next round or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I do think there would be something kind of cool. The Street Fighter made me think of like, what if it was like a polygonal battler so that like anyone could come at you? Like this could be kind of cool for Smash.
Yep.
Then this makes actually that would, you know what that would probably be? That would probably be Dynasty Warriors. And those games suck.
I mean, it'd be cool for Smash, just like people when they're out, another player comes in, right? Just consistently.
Well, I'm thinking all 100 are on screen at once, and it's a huge map.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Until the final, and like the circles bringing them in. Like I guess it would work with Smash, and if it's like side scrolling, I guess the polygonal version of that is Dynasty Warriors. And the circles bringing you in. That Smash one actually, that sounds not too bad actually. Now
it doesn't sound
even though I hate 8-player Smash, but you would need like a huge map.
I think you would just instance it though. There would be like, let's see, I don't know, maybe like 20 games of like 5 people, and then like as people are like,
that's less interesting. That's just like a tournament.
Yeah, I think most Battle Royale is just kind of like a real-time tournament. Honestly,
I guess I feel like there is something about it being on the same map though.
Yeah,
like,
there is.
I feel like a Battle Royale. I was going to say I feel like a Battle Royale needs the ring,
the ability to like gain up on somebody.
The Tetris one doesn't have a ring.
Yeah.
So you don't need it, I guess.
I think you need the ability to gain up on somebody. So, like, even if they're very skillful, like 20 people can take them out.
Right. Isn't this what that Mordhau game kind of is?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because that's just like a huge sprawling like battler, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Uh, I I don't know. Did we answer the question?
What about for sports games? What about a battle royale Tetris? Just 50 versus 50 on a giant thing with a
Wait,
bunch
you
of
said
balls.
sports games and then you said Tetris?
No, not Tetris. Sorry. Oh my God, tennis. Just like on a giant court with 50v50 and a bunch of balls going back and forth.
Okay, this makes me think, have you ever played that ping pong game where there's a whole bunch of you in a circle around the table and you have to hit the ball to the next person? Everyone has their
Yeah,
own racket. You
yeah,
hit the ball to the next
you're
person
right.
and then you rotate around the circle
Yep,
until there's, and then if you miss it, you're out until
yep.
it's like three people just nonstop sprinting around the table.
This is great. That's actually a good idea.
There's table tennis battle royale. You got
That's
100 people.
legitimately a good idea.
I mean, that game in itself is extremely fun.
Yeah.
So I could see that definitely working. And I feel like in that scenario, you could probably put a lot of sports in there. Like, would that work with basketball? I guess that would just be a line of 100 people taking like a free throw. So
Yeah.
no. Did you actually mix it up? Did you ever play Bump
No.
in like gym class? So Bump is a
Oh yeah,
basketball
yeah.
game.
Okay. You can
So you
hit
do
the
know that.
balls or whatever with your ball.
Yeah, where you have the two balls and you have to get it in before the person in front of you, and you can like bump their ball with your
Yeah,
ball.
yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
100 you could definitely do that.
Yep. That'd be pretty good.
And every person would just have like a number associated to them, and you just have to make sure your ball gets in before someone who has a lower number. And if you're like number one, which is everyone's kind of targeting you, and you get your ball in, you now get the highest number.
Mm.
So now you're targeting, and it goes like that. And then if you get yours in, you take out the person who's just in front of you. I think this makes sense. Battle Royale
It
Bump.
kind of works. Yeah.
All right. If you want to send in questions for next week, it is topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. What is your game of the week?
Gears 4.
I'm going to give it to probably Borderlands 3.
Okay.
And yes, we mentioned it before, but Dicey Dungeon is our next TDP Plus game. Thanks for those who voted. So stay tuned for that episode later this week. And if you haven't heard what was the last one we did? My friend Pedro. If you haven't heard that episode yet, that is definitely live. So go back and take a listen to that. We all should be back next week. So we will see you then. Thanks for listening.
Bye.